Godby, Tallahassee. Records, Tallahassee. FAMU, DRS, Tallahassee. Gaston County High School, Quincy. And Beach High School, Savannah, Georgia.
Good morning, ANCS students. I hope you guys are prepared for a treat. As you can see, we are going to learn about the HBCU Band Life Experience. And I have a special guest with me here today, Mr. Thomas Jr. And let's give him a warm welcome. Hello, Mr. Thomas.
What up? What up? What up?
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. So, as you can see on my screen, I have a picture here that represents FAMU. Can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and FAMU?
A little bit about myself. Funny, the picture that you actually have screenshotted. I was actually there at that performance. Can't remember what city that was in or whatever, but the young lady in the middle actually went to the school the same years that I went to the school. Like we came in '07 around the same time. Um, Basically, a little bit about me. I was born and raised in Atlanta. I'm a product of the Atlanta public school systems. I went to Benteen Elementary. I went to ML King Middle School, and I'm also a graduate of Southside High School. I left there, went to Florida A&M from 2007 to about 2012, and of course, I was a part of the illustrious Marching 100 band.
Nice, nice, nice. So, band life, a lot of students know what the band is. They've probably been exposed to the band, but what can you really explain to our students about the band life at an HBCU?
Band life at a HBCU is much different from what you may experience, say, here in the inner city. Because once you get there, people on that level are more so about their business. They're more so about, what are they going to do from that point going forward. So the HBCU band experience is none that I would ever want to replace. I mean, I've traveled many different cities, haven't been out of the state. Well, I've been out of the state, of course, but I haven't been out of the country with the marching band when the time that I was there. But they had been known for traveling to Paris, going overseas and stuff like that just to be in performance. And then it's ways that you can open up doors to things that you never even imagined. Like half the people y'all seen perform with, say the Beyoncé's or Showtime Live or Halftime Live, all of those people I was colleagues with when I went to a HBCU, and just the simple fact of saying like, hey man, I attended a Grambling State or I attended a FAMU, like it opens up so many doors just by having that connection with people.
Nice. It sounds like the HBCU experience overall shaped and changed your life in some ways. What are some of the things you would share with our young people about going to college, but specifically if they decide to choose to join and attend an historical Black college?
Um, I would tell young people to understand how important culture is when it pertains to actually being excited about or enthusiastic about education. You know what I'm saying? And at least continuing it. So if you go somewhere where you feel more like you're at home, like you have people from all walks of life. Like I met people not only from the state of Florida, I met people from Michigan, from a lot of different places, and all these people collectively meet in this one place. And because it's a historically Black place, like you learn things that they don't necessarily present to you, you know what I'm saying, in K through 12. So, and I did the college tours. I went to a couple of other name schools I'd rather not say right now, but it just didn't give the vibe and the feeling of being like amongst my people until I went and visited Florida A&M.
Nice, nice. Okay, so think about a day in the college life. What would a day look like before game day or on game day? Describe that for our audience here.
Well, we always had a mantra of we practice like we perform. So technically game day started on Monday. So most college games are on Saturday. So we leave the previous game on Saturday Monday we hit the reset button, and it's like preparing for a new game day. So you could probably go back and watch the history. We probably have only repeated a couple halftime shows maybe once or twice. But everything changed. Something changed in it a little bit, whether it was the intro, whether it was a dance routine, whether it was a drill. So being in a band that's that notable and recognizable, game day starts on Monday. So you have sometimes 2 a day practices, which one of them was actually a class. Some people don't know that. When you get to college, like marching band is not just after school. It's an actual class. Like you have to register for it, you get graded for it, you got to show up. So everybody knew 3:35. You knew where you had to be. We called it the patch. You had to be on the patch. You had to be ready to go for practice. Sometimes we get out at 5:30. Sometimes we get out at 6. We leave. We eat dinner. We come back. Another practice starts at 8 o'clock. So a lot of people were like, "Man, y'all practice 2 days like the whole season?" Yes, yes, we did. It's literally that serious. Like for some people, this is their job. And I approached it as a job because when you went out of town, you went out of state, we got allocated. They gave us money to go to these different games and different venues and stuff of that nature. So you had to approach it with a business like mindset. So if you go in and you thinking that, okay, I don't have to do this full out until Saturday, you're already dead in the water. You know what I'm saying? And you can probably agree to that from being a dancer. I don't know if they know that about you, but
Yeah.
you have to you have to practice the way you want to perform because you can't just turn things on and off. Like over time, you get to a point where you can maybe do it, but you can't do it at that level without approaching it, from Monday to Saturday.
Yeah, and speaking of the things that you described, it sounds like you had to be disciplined in order to be a part of the marching band. Can you tell us a little bit about the supports that were in place at your HBCU to help students thrive in the classroom and to thrive outside of the classroom? What supports did you guys have available?
Um, the support was mostly from within because 85% of the band staff were also members of the Marching 100. So it may have been a time where I was trying to figure out how I was going to navigate practicing to 10, 11 o'clock at night and getting up to make it to my 8 o'clock class. So things were put in place like once once I'm on campus, in my brain, I'm on campus. So if I had a gap between maybe 11 and 1 o'clock, go to the library, do your homework, get your assignments caught up because at the end of the week, you finna get on a bus and you finna go out of town. Like you might miss class a lot of times on Fridays being in the Marching 100. So you had to be productive. Like you had to be ahead of things at all times. And the support, like I said, came from mostly the band staff coming from within because yeah, things changed over the years, but they pretty much had the blueprint and all you had to do was follow it. And on top of that, you had members that was in the band, say 2, 3 years prior to you, and they knew exactly what you was experiencing. So the support mostly came from within. I very seldom had to, reach out to my mom, my dad, and my brother or whatever because they were 4.5 hours away. So it forces you, especially being from one place and going to school in another, to network, like to understand where you're at and figure out who you can lean on and stuff like that.
Awesome. So it sounds like to you, like here at ANCS, we have what we call a school family. So we're all a part of a huge family, our community. So it sounds like being a part of the Marching 100, that you guys formed a bond, you were able to be a family. Do you still stay in touch with some of your old band members?
All the time. It's too many for me to try to keep in touch with all of them, but you never know the situation you're in. Like I had to make a impromptu trip to say Jacksonville one weekend, right? Hotels were packed, nowhere to stay. Call up one of the people I was in the band with, hey man, I'm here for like 2 days. You think I can crash on your couch? Not a problem. You know what I'm saying? We go, they take me to all the hot spots. No matter where I might land, there's somebody that I may have met when I was in college. And it's just a big family atmosphere. Like you never know when you may or may not need somebody. You never know when those persons need you. So,
That is wonderful. So the most important part, which instrument did you play and why?
all right. So my principal instrument, for those of you that are in band, is the trumpet. So, but from that, in high school, I dabbled with snare drum, and I may or may not can play the saxophone. But my principal instrument is trumpet, and the inspiration behind that was when I was in grade school, actually, and I want to say third grade. I came home and I used to ride the bus with one of my best friends, and she came home with this case, and I was like, "What in the world is that?" And then she pulled it out, and it was actually a trumpet. So I went home just joking, like jokingly telling my dad, like, "Yeah, I think I want to join the band and I want to play that." And literally the next day, he comes home with a trumpet, and he was like, "Well, this is what you want to do? Here it is." And from third grade on, man, I just found a love and a passion for something that was not the norm at the time. Like, who in third grade says, "Oh, you know what? I want to do that." You know what I mean? But that's where it started, and history was started from there.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Mr. Thomas, for your time. And I know that you are going to give us another treat of you actually playing the trumpet. And so we look forward to hearing that. And we so grateful for this opportunity to learn more about you and the HBCU band life experience. We wish you well. Thank you on behalf of the celebrations committee here at Atlanta Neighborhood Charter School.
And thank you for inviting me and having me. And yeah, it'll definitely be a treat. So
Thanks.
thank you.